Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
You gotta have more. You're not just gonna be like, I'm the goddess of wine. Like, does anybody want something to drink?
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week chooses a popular saying to take a shallow, but hopefully comedic and once in a while even interesting dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins, but we're also going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I'm Goldfinger.
Go nicely done.
Man with the golden finger.
That works very well with today's fun.
It's fantastic seeing you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Genuinely, hey you, I like
Hey
you.
you.
Hey you.
Hey, you, the periodic table of elements.
Yeah.
I'm watching for him. I've got my tennis racket in hand.
You're in the zone now. Yeah, there's all sorts
Set up
of...
and the spike. Hey, you.
Hey you.
You know, that's exactly how I remembered it.
I love gold.
In grade 9.
Yeah. Hey you.
Hey, you.
There was a whole phrase to go from like the first 15 or 20. There was like a
really?
sentence. Yeah.
Do you remember it?
No.
Oh. I remembered AU for like, hey, you stole my gold watch.
Yeah.
And
AGE.
AG took my silver bracelet or whatever.
Wow. I got a little ethnic there for a second.
Why?
I don't know. It's like AG. You
Oh,
stole
my-
my bracelet.
Oh, I had an
Like,
accent?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like, no.
I didn't mean to have an accent. I was like, hey, G. I felt more like New Yorkie.
Yeah.
I'm G.
Like a little dog. Like a little...
Like a new one.
Right,
Not an old one.
Like a little pup. Little pup dog.
How funny.
That's a New Yorkie.
I had to think about that. Like a little dog. What
What are you talking about?
are you talking
This is
about?
ridiculous. Yeah, so it's been an amazing week. The sun's popping up and
Not as much
good
as I'd
again.
like, but
Ah,
there's some
we'll
good
take
weather
it.
coming in a couple of days.
eventually.
And the top will come off.
Amen.
And you'll see the guns. No, top on my Jeep will
Oh,
come
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Did you see the Jeep? I got a soft top on it now. First time.
I didn't know. Didn't
First
notice.
time. That right there has changed my world. Because
I
now
imagine-
it's 5-minute warning to take it. Like, oh, it's nice out. Boom.
But the part of like internal noise,
No. Barely
you
a
need
difference.
to drive faster.
Yeah, maybe.
'Cause
No, I did a little test run. I'm like, how much noisier? Because my old Jeep back in the day, it was pretty noisy.
Yeah, it's
and
like
I
a wind
only
tunnel.
had a soft top. This one, even took my son out. He's like, I don't notice the difference at all. Yeah, it's pretty great. And you got the
Sounds
Sunrunner
fantastic.
flap on the top, where you can just open like a sunroof or drop the whole thing in whatever 10 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Used to watch the weather app and go, I want 10 days in a row before I take the hard top off.
Right, because that's a job.
Because it's a job, and then I would park it under a tent because I can't just throw it back on.
Right.
And
So
I guess I'm
much
not
effort.
going out today because
So
it's going
much
to rain.
effort.
Yeah,
I'm not heading out this week.
Anyway, we're way off topic. This is more on topic.
Let's hear it.
Got the Midas Touch.
Recognize that
The
voice?
Midas Touch. No, I'm
Listen
Got
close.
the Midas Touch.
No.
It's going back to the 80s. One of my favorite shows of the 80s.
Got the Midas Touch.
Alf.
Oh, I wasn't a fan.
Oh, really?
No.
I loved it.
No.
I got the box set. Of
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, none of that. Muppets, Fraggle Rock, all sorts of puppetry can die.
That hurt.
Yeah, Jim Henson. Is he still alive?
No.
There you go.
No. He is no longer with us.
I can't speak ill of the dead, but what a mistake puppetry was. I just don't get it.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. I was a big fan of Alf.
Now,
Gordon Shumway. Shumway?
Sumner.
No, that's Sting.
I see. Something
Hey,
like
you.
that. Yeah, well, anyways.
So anyway, that line, that's today's idiom, the Midas Touch.
Some people can just do it. It's just whatever.
That's what it's
Whatever
Midas
they
Touch is the
touch.
ability to make money or to be successful with whatever
The
idea
most
you
random
try.
of
Like,
things turns into something.
You can make that work because you've got the Midas Touch. That's how we use the phrase. But yeah.
Right, that
Do you have the
person-
Midas Touch? I feel like we do. Like, we're like, man, we've never done a podcast. And this thing took off like a rocket.
Yeah. Well, that was like
That's a fluke. Or is it just
that
good
kind
timing?
of
but
uncontrolled success like that. Is that the Midas Touch?
unbridled. I like to use
Unbridled.
unbridled when I think of the success of this podcast.
Yeah. Where was that last week?
I should have used unbridled with the Devon Lock. Man, what a gong show last week was.
Last week was a hot mess of...
Which is perfect, considering the
crazy.
Devon Lock is all about failure.
It was so the first one goes off, and it's like, okay, that's acceptable. You know, whatever. Things happen.
Start over.
Second one, I was like, well, that's weird. And then we were right into it in the third one. About 5 minutes in?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's like, and we're not recording. Okay, take 4. It's like that was a perfect episode to have complete failure.
Yeah, funny. Nobody knows because they'll just hear that episode, but behind the scenes, we failed 3 times.
We had to get rid of our producer on that one.
We did.
Yeah. Replace him.
Yeah. I think we're doing a lot better this week, right out of the gate. Because the new producer has the Midas Touch.
Well, I can think of a few things that... is it the ability to pick something up quickly? Does that qualify as the Midas Touch?
No, that's a ninja thing. Why?
I see. Not just the success. Is it just the touching?
Oh, I think you meant pick up, like physically pick up something quickly.
Oh, like fast reflexes.
Can you pick up something quickly? That was on the table. Now it's in my hand.
Jedi. Yeah, is that qualify as the same? People who were like...
No, it's typically the Midas Touch is money, but I've seen it in movies where it's like picking up ladies. He's got the Midas Touch, and
that'll get you in trouble.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Goldfinger reference, that was a good one.
Well, immediately started going to like movie references that had gold in them. So there was Goldmember, the man with the golden gun.
Yep. Interesting.
Yep. And so I don't know. Hey, you.
Goldilocks.
Yeah.
Gold's
Jim.
Gold's Jim.
J-I-M. It's a real unknown character. Yeah, so it's anyways finding
the Golden Child,
the Golden Compass,
Gold Rush Part 3.
That candy we used to get as kids in the little gold bag.
Oh yeah, the little bag of gum.
Nuggets.
Yeah, I love
the basketball team, Denver.
The Golden Nuggets, the Golden Arches. What are we doing right now?
This whole process kind of just sums up. This is more behind the scenes.
I was thinking
currently in front of the
if
scene.
everything you touch turns to gold, you got the Midas Touch. I'm like, what if you're just average? You don't fail all the time, but everything you touch turns to like bronze.
Copper.
Yeah.
You got the copper touch. Pewter.
If Midas, we'll get into the
Cast
origins
iron.
of who Midas was, but Midas was the guy who touched things and they turned to gold. Who touches things and they turn to copper?
Well, I do know people that everything they touch turns to failure.
Turns to crap.
So, but there has to be some element where like
You got the porta potty touch.
where it stops because you would touch, like you put on clothes or you pick your nose or you brush your hair and you didn't turn to gold.
No, not when I was Midas.
No.
Yeah, it must have something to do with, well, I don't know. We'll talk about that when we talk about King Midas.
Well, we should probably get into some origins then.
Yeah, you want to?
Sure.
Okay. Well, that requires me being ready for that.
Okay.
Let's start
Producer.
we definitely need to give better warning
Sure.
next time.
But I'm okay. I'll just forge along until we get to that point.
I don't even think he's looking at us.
Gold Rush.
Play the song thing. Oh, now he's going.
I said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origin.
All right, let's get into the oranges of this. The nitty. No, what did we used to say? I haven't said this.
and the nerdy?
The dirty and the nerdy. I was going to say nitty gritty, but the dirty, nerdy origins. All right, so we know one thing, that this has been figuratively used since the mid-1600s. Midas is a figure from Greek mythology. He was the king of Phrygia. I looked up how to pronounce it because I'm like, is that Phrygia?
Yeah, there's a silent D in there.
I don't have a D in mine.
I know, but you say a D.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's why it's silent.
Phrygia. Phrygia. He was the king of Phrygia, a part of Anatolia, which is now Asian Turkey. So he inherited the throne from his parents, Midas did, the goddess Cybele, probably, and Gordius, his father. Now they're just making up Greek names. His
It's
name
like
was
taking a
Gord.
regular name and just add an us or a to the end.
Jurassic Marcius.
Well, that sounds Roman.
Okay, perfect. Skinnius.
Scineas.
Oh, that actually worked.
Sure.
Scineas.
Yeah.
King Scineas of
King Scineas of...
the village Idiomitis.
There you go.
Midas is a devotee of the god Dionysus, whose followers are known to be given to revelry. So one day, some Phrygians
She's
are...
like the goddess of wine or something.
I didn't look that up. Do you know that? Do you remember that
I think it's wine. As at least one of the things.
Yeah.
You got to have more. You're not just going to be like, I'm the goddess of wine. Like, does anybody want something to drink? Ugh.
Both forms of the word wine.
Why do I always have to get the drinks?
I'm tired of storming grapes. wow, sour grapes. Okay, so one day some Phrygians are working in the field when old Silenus, who is sometimes said to be now I didn't look up the pronunciation.
The Canadian Silenus Dionys. Silenus Dionysus. Oh, my heart will go on.
This is crazy. Silenus and Dionysus.
Near, far, wherever you are.
That is literally the two names I'm referencing. Silenus, Dionysus.
She's French.
All right, so how do you pronounce this word? Satyr.
Satyr.
Is it just satyr?
I think satyr.
Okay. So sometimes said to be a satyr, and is that where satire comes from? What's a satyr? Man, who
It's
did
so
the research on
hard
this?
to understand. Who wants another drink? I'm Dionysus, goddess of wine.
So this is funny because Silenus, who is said to be a satyr and a companion of Dionysus, wanders into the field drunk. So that makes sense if she's a friend of the goddess of wine. Sure. That's why she's drunk.
Sure.
So that makes sense. So the farmers take advantage.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Because you said Celine Dion, I'm assuming it's female, but it's a he. Take advantage of his drunken state, tie him up with chains made of flowers, whatever that means, and lead him to King Midas. Midas is delighted to recognize Silenus, whom he knows to be a follower of Dionysus. Silenus Dionys. The king treats Silenus with great respect and orders a festival in his honor before returning Silenus to Dionysus. This keeps on going. Dionysus is grateful to have his companion returned and offers Midas a reward. Here's where it gets funky. Midas asks that everything he touches should be turned to gold. That's what I want my reward to be. Anything I touch turns to gold. Apparently, the god tries to warn him, asks Midas, "Are you quite certain?" Midas replies with a yes. Definitely wants the gold touch, so his wish is granted. And as you can see where this is going, Midas soon finds out that the god had been true to his word. He picked up objects, they turned to gold, flowers, pebbles, stones, they turned to gold. He sets about planning all the things he wants to turn to gold, including his palace, his clothing. Everything is going to be gold, gold, gold. I guess if your clothing turned to gold, every single thread, you'd still have mobility.
Well,
It would be like chainmail.
maybe chainmail, but I could see it also having clearly you'd be chafing.
That's true. Your skin's turning green. This isn't real gold.
Precious metal.
What carrot is this? Why am I turning green? So he starts planning everything he's going to turn to gold, and his day of gold-colored dreams ended at dinner time. His servants bring him a meal of bread and meat to him, and when he breaks off some bread, of course, the bread turns to gold. When he tries to eat some meat, the meat turns to gold as soon as it touches his lips. It's funny that they word it as soon as it touches his lips, it turns to gold.
Because you could wear gloves in the breaking of the bread portion.
But the gloves would be gold.
Interesting. He could be fed it.
So he couldn't even drink his wine.
Fed it.
It said it turned to liquid molten gold when he tried to drink it. But the only way it would turn to liquid molten gold is down his throat. Wouldn't that be his death right there? Or
So
is it
they
like
should
the
have
second
amended
it
it.
touches his lips?
So it just tastes on my
But
lips.
molten gold means it's still liquid.
Yeah, wouldn't it be boiling?
Sounds hot, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
true.
can't be good.
Maybe that's why he couldn't drink it. So Midas realized that he would starve amidst a
Maybe-
fortune of gold.
Crap in bricks.
and he couldn't
Of gold.
even touch his children or wife. So he prayed to Celine Dion to please take the gift away, saying that he indeed been foolish to ask for it. So Celine Dion agrees to take the gold away and tells Midas to go to the river Pactolus and bathe in it so that the water would wash away the gift of gold. Midas did so, and the gold touch was lifted. Flecks of gold were found in the sands of the river from then on. So I think this is a little bit of a fable, or what is it?
Allegory?
Is that the word? Where
I
you're
don't know.
explaining, and so there is flecks of gold
Myth?
found in that. No, like it's one of those fables that, like, how did the leopard get his spots? Because leopards really do have spots. How did the shores of the river Pactolus actually turn up gold like it did?
I don't know. We have it here. Gold
What,
in my
gold?
rivers.
Yeah, but they're saying the sands were filled with gold. Here's the story behind it of how he got it. In some versions of Midas, he does touch his children; they turn to gold. But the end of the story, he does go to the river. He washes it off. He gets rid of it. That's why there's gold in the sands. But in some versions where his family has been touched and turned to gold, he cannot turn them back. They stay forever. So one version he starves to death. Another version he's saved by the water. Another version is his family is solid gold and he has to live in that remorse forever.
I went to Barkerville, which was a Canadian BC gold rush town back in the day, and you had the opportunity to pan and look for gold, and I really
Found somebody's fillings.
I hurt myself.
What do you mean?
Well, it was a minor injury.
Oh my goodness! Wow!
Half of that is true.
Wow! That's so good. Like I never see them coming.
You've panned for gold at Fort Langley.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I remember panning for gold the first time as a 10-year-old at Knott's Berry Farm. But you actually panned for real gold. I had a little vial with tiny little flecks that I had gotten out of there, however they worked that deal to pan for real gold at Knott's Berry Farm.
It was like the old dirt and then a couple flecks added in after the
Probably,
fact.
yeah.
No one's getting rich at Knott's Berry Farm.
No. You had to pay to keep... I didn't understand at the time why I had to pay for something I found. And my parents are like, no, they're arranging this for you to find.
Right.
So to keep it and have them not put it right back in for the next kid.
Right, the next dirt pile. It was something like that anyway.
It was also the day that my family and the family we vacationed with left with me still in the park.
They just forgot about your presence?
Yeah.
Oh.
We were all kind of at the gate, gathered to go. I was looking at one of those old cartoony maps of the park, where I wanted to go. I look
Montezuma's Revenge?
up. Yep. I look up, and nobody's around me.
That's nice.
Yeah. It was scary.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. And anyway, I never saw them again. But I made it back.
Raised by wolves.
I had to pay to be raised. Knott's Berry Farm charges for everything. Bear country.
Next thing you're serving, you have soft serve. You got a hat on. The employee.
Now Knott's Berry Farm, if I'm not mistaken, has all the Peanuts characters as their mascots.
Oh,
I think there's a licensing joining up there. Anyway,
makes sense. You got to find a thing. Once Lego World and then Disney owns like everything.
yeah,
And then you get the Lego
Universal,
Legoland.
kind of hanging their hat on Minions and Hogwarts.
Sure.
But yeah. Anyway, I think for a while it was Warner Brothers, like Sylvester the Cat and Tweety Bird and all those guys. But yeah, pretty sure it's Peanuts characters now, which is not bad.
No.
I like Snoopy.
Yeah, well, it was always like the reasonable park. Like it was like the park that tried.
Yeah.
It's like
I've only been there once and I was 10 years old and I have completely fond memories of it.
Montezuma's Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a big deal.
And I remember the log ride. I know Disney has Bear
Which is
Country,
hilarious.
but I remember a Bear Country type ride at Knott's Berry Farm.
The log ride and Montezuma's Revenge. Those are both like turd references.
I don't know if the log ride was called that.
Just called the log ride. It's like Knott's Berry Farm. First, there's the cheese section, and then you did the log ride, But then after you finished it off with
there's another water ride there called the Wipe or something. The Wipeout. I think it's called the Wipeout.
the flusher. Yeah. What are the odds? Montezuma's Revenge.
Yeah, Knott's Farm. Anyway, off topic. You know what I thought was interesting about the Midas Touch reference is we only use it as an idiom when things go really well. But the moral of the story is that it doesn't go well.
But you should know from all of these things that whatever you end up wishing for, there's like this alternate side, the Rumpelstiltskin, like
In stories.
Yeah, it's like it sounds
but in real
great.
life, we don't talk about. Like, really, it should be, the Midas touch should be in reference to somebody who's greedy, not someone who's like, look at him, he's got the Midas. Like, we talk about it affectionately. That guy's got the Midas touch. That's awesome. Really, the story's about greed, and you're gonna hurt yourself if you.
So, like, our
act
idiom
that
version
greedy.
would be more like,
Idiot or idiom?
He's got horseshoes up his bum.
Right.
Where you, like, he's just lucky all the time. Yeah, it's not like, oh, he's got the Midas touch. Because that's the negative. Yeah, we don't use the negative.
Yeah, but we don't use it as negative. Like, that guy's got the Midas touch.
When you're saying overall it is a negative.
The
myth.
story is, yeah. But we just won't use it that way. I think we missed the point.
He's so successful.
I think the idea of turning something to gold, like everything you touch turns to gold, is so appealing that even though you know it gets to that level, you're like, I'd like to give it a try, though.
Well, particularly if you could have
all you have to do is see those Skittles commercials.
If you could have a
to see
take
how
back.
bad it is.
If you could have a take back, well, then you just spend a day touching everything. And then at the end you go, sorry, I actually don't want that. Like,
But you get to keep what you've done.
But you get to keep what you've done.
Yeah, there you go. Or what if it was just one of your pinkies? Like, just this one finger is my gold finger. Just saying.
You just
There's got to be a way to make this
Okay,
work.
so if he said, I would prefer, like, so everything I touch turns to gold, except for my lip region.
Yeah, an internal.
And my organ. Yeah, because once you ate something, that wouldn't end well. You'd like immediately clog up. You'd be looking for Montezuma's Revenge.
But then when you'd
be doing the log ride.
But would it be solid gold log ride?
There's only one way to find out. That's not good.
You mentioned this.
The man with the Midas touch.
That's from Goldfinger.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Funny enough, the two clips I grabbed, you said Goldfinger, and you also said
Midas touch.
Goldmember.
Goldmember. There you go.
They both used it.
I love gold.
So, yeah, there you go. That is the Midas touch. I'd love to be able to turn things to gold, actually. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Well, the allegory doesn't end well.
I wonder, like, how quickly it turns to gold. Like, if you did a cannonball into a pool.
How about the goose and the golden egg?
Oh.
There's not the gold. But, yeah, well, if you did a cannonball into a... Oh, I see.
Yeah, would you be in the water at all, or would you just bounce off it and break your tailbone?
Your whole body just gets submerged in gold.
Yeah, would you...
Like, while you're under the water.
Like, how quick does it turn to gold? Are you submerged, or are you, like, neck out of the water going, shoot, I didn't think this through?
Right. Getting you out would be trick. And the feeding part would be tricky, because you could cloak your whole body in some sort of fabric to not touch anything, but you can't. You got to go, like, you got to eat.
You got to eat.
Guys got to eat.
Guys got to eat.
Like eating.
I said in a couple episodes ago, I was talking about people who believe they can survive on oxygen alone. They're called, and I was like, I don't know, they're called Oxygenarians, and you're like, what, like 80-years-olds?
That's octogenarian.
Yeah. So I looked it up. It's breatharian.
Yeah.
It's an even dumber name.
It sounds like the dead.
And so far, no one's made it.
Exactly. They sound very dead. There's a name for them. Dead.
All right, we're running out of time here, so I think we got to get into something fun.
Let's do some riddlinks.
All right. Riddlink is a game we like to play that takes a two-part trivia-based question and demands emphatically a two-part but overlapping answer, overlapping by word or syllable or syllables. And so, for example, last week in our episode about doing the Devon lock, we left you with this lovely one. The Queen's horse that belly flopped in a non-graceful, ungainly way. Did you get that one? The Queen's horse that belly flopped in a non-graceful...
Devon Lockward?
That's it.
Okay.
So it's Devon Lock and Awkward. The correct answer is the Devon Lockward. You're exactly right. So that's how you play.
Okay. It's the Queen's horse is William Shatner's police partner.
Is that last week's
I'm just making stuff up now.
Oh, Devin.
What was her name?
Who?
She was a Locklear, wasn't she?
Oh, Heather Locklear.
Yeah.
Devin Locklear?
Well, let's get into this week's.
Okay.
All right. Very excited.
He's got the Midas touch when it comes to riddlings.
Okay.
You okay over there? Can you read
Every
your own notes?
opportunity turns to gold because Samantha Fox wants my body.
Oh, man. Samantha Fox. That is... What a flashback.
Our illegitimate children who are 80s children.
The Midas... I don't know. Touch Me?
Yes!
Is it? Okay. I can't remember.
It's just the worst era. It just jumped into my head. I was like, this is the worst.
Okay, let's see if you can get this one.
All right.
Everything you come into contact turns to gold for this device display that is interactive with your finger.
Midas touch screen?
Yeah.
All right. Nice and simple. Right to the point there. Illegitimate children, jump in on this one. This alcoholic icebox hails from the land of King Midas.
I'm gonna leave it because that's so close to my next one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that I'm gonna let you have it.
Okay.
So if you know the answer,
this alcoholic icebox hails from the land of King Midas.
perfect. So let them know how they can play along.
You can reach out to us on Instagram at the.village.idiom, or whether it's in the form of email. We have a Gmail. I know it's pretty special.
What if they just want to write a letter?
If you'd like to write a letter, first of all, find paper and pen. You can email us at thevillageidiompodcast at gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks, the Twitters, or the YouTubes at 3 Minutes Gone. And that is 3 Minutes Gone.
Perfect. Nicely done. Yeah, mine was so close that we probably have.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I had alternates.
I have it in backwards. I'll show you after.
Sure.
I don't want to say mine and confuse everybody with their answers.
Sure. Yeah, it's not a real brain buster. So, anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, it was definitely fun putting
I had fun.
today's episode together.
I would do it again.
I felt it was like a real moment.
I didn't realize how kind of polar opposite last week, this week was. Like, do a left Devon lock, which is complete failure, and to have the Midas touch, which is everything turns to gold.
Wow.
Kinda
You just find analogies.
Yin and yang.
And
Yin
yang.
yang. Is it yin yang or yin yang?
I think it's a yang.
Yin and yang,
Yeah.
not yin and yang.
I think it's yin and yang,
Now we're just ping ponging this.
I guess. But either way, I still enjoyed it. I'm
Good.
skinny.
I am Jurassic Goldilocks Park. I don't know.
Wow. That's a new one right off the bat there. And these are the Village Idioms.
Oh.
And of course.
Last 3 minutes gone.